God says, this message is for you. Don't try to skip this. Don't tell this to anyone. Don't tell it to friends, don't post it, don't make it small by turning it into a joke. This message is for you alone. It's over for you if you skip. I mean that with the tenderness of one who holds the map of your life in a single hand and refuses to let you stumble blindfolded into what was never meant to be your end. Hear me now. God says, listen. In the third week of September 2025 they'll come to your home and take. This is urgent. Take what you treasure most if you do nothing. This is not a scare to make you frantic. It is a trumpet to wake up the part of you that has been asleep. This warning is for protection, not panic. Prepare. Do not wait until later. Do not convince yourself you've got time. Time is slippery and betrays the best of intentions. God says, I hear the small, frightened voice inside you that thinks, maybe this isn't for me. This message is for you. I have seen the nights you spent replaying the same conversation, the mornings you rose hoping today would be different and it wasn't. I have held the long list of somedays you swore to yourself. This message is for you. Do not skip it. Do not let the ordinary world with its ordinary rhythms drown the extraordinary that is circling you now. God says, there is someone or something moving like a shadow at the edge of your door. They will present themselves as unavoidable, paperwork that looks routine, a knock that feels casual, a messenger who smiles like mercy. But the smile is thin, the paperwork is a net, the visit is planned. You must act, not in fear, but in clarity. Check the locks that matter, the documents you have ignored, the contracts you signed without reading, the things you assumed someone else would handle. This is not punishment. This is rescue, if you choose to rescue yourself. God says, this message is for you. Do the small things today that your future self will thank you for tomorrow. Make copies. Save receipts. Photograph what matters. Send the email you've been shelving. Call the person you have avoided. I am not commanding busy work. I am giving you a list of lifelines. When people come with confident voices, the life you've built can be taken through silence more easily than through resistance. Speak up. Document. Be awake. God says, don't let shame keep you numb. Shame loves secrecy. Shame wants you to fold the problem into your chest and breathe it until it becomes a tumor of silence. This message is for you. Name what has happened. Tell someone who is bound by law to stay silent, an attorney, an advocate, someone who is trained to turn chaos into strategy. If you cannot afford one, find the local helpline. I have eyes on every phone and every bench, but you have hands. Use them. Use ordinary tools like paper, ink, and a clear voice. They work. God says, this message is for you. There is a way through that involves courage, not drama. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move while fear is present. Do one courageous thing today. Open one envelope. Reply to one message. Lock one door. Stand up for one truth. These are small acts, but in the ledger of your fate they tally into rescue. It's over for you if you skip the small acts and the large will be swept away. God says, I know the pressure that weighs on you, loans that hum like a chorus in the walls, relationships that creak under the load of unspoken debts, promises you made in brighter weather. This message is for you. Prioritize what can be preserved. If a conversation will save your home, have it. If paperwork will keep someone from taking what is yours, secure it. If a signature can be found, find it. Do not let sentimental illusions convince you that time will heal legal unattended things. Time will only make them harder to return. God says, this message is for you. You are not alone even when you feel abandoned. The world is a crowded place, and yet loneliness can be so intimate it becomes a second skin. I hold you. But I will not do for you what you can do for yourself. I give you the map, but you must walk the path. This paradox is the altar of freedom, your hands, my compass. Together we move. God says, if you are tempted to hide because you are ashamed of the mess, remember that those who come to take will find messes anyway. Hiding only makes the rescue more painful. Open the door to a trusted helper. Do not pick the helper because they flatter your ears. Pick the helper who is practical, who asks for forms and dates and names. Those are the people the world understands. Paper defeats many predators. This message is for you. Learn the language of paperwork. You are more powerful with a simple checklist than you are with 1,000 perfect prayers unaccompanied by signatures. God says, this message is for you. Prepare a list of what matters in order. If they come and attempt to seize your kear, whatever that is for you, literal or symbolic, what will you lose first? Prepare that first thing so it cannot be taken. If it matters to you, make it immovable. Store originals in a safe place, give copies to someone you trust, and write down the exact words that prove ownership. If you rely on the kindness of strangers, get that kindness in writing. Kindness without paper is mercy without teeth. It can be complicated to enforce. God says, this message is for you. Do not let fear make you reckless. Panic fractures strategy. Think in terms of steady steps. Begin with clarity. What do you own? What is promised to you? What is owed to someone else? What has been promised to you? Line the facts up like soldiers. Organize them. Give them names, bounding dates, and a clear position. Facts defend better than feelings when conflict comes to the door. God says, I am serious when I say it's over for you if you skip. Not in a vengeful way, but in a precise way. Skipping will cost you what you could have saved. The heartbreak of later will be heavier because you will know it was preventable. The regret of not having acted is a quiet, persistent grief that hollows out the rest of your life. Do not let that be your inheritance. God says, this message is for you. Sometimes the people who appear helpful are the ones who will be most helpful if you insist on formality. When someone offers a verbal promise, say, please send that in writing. When someone arrives at your door with a smile and a clipboard, ask for ID, ask for documentation, ask for a number you can call later. When people fear being questioned, they thrash. When they are genuine, paperwork is a simple step. Formality will not offend a true helper. This is practical wisdom, not mistrust. God says, this message is for you. Do not confuse loud voices with rightness. The world rewards loudness by mistaking it for authority. The truth often sits quiet and steady. When you face someone who speaks like thunder, put their words next to the facts. Let the facts decide. If your voice shakes, write it down. A trembling signature on an official paper is far more persuasive than a shaken mouth in a hallway. God says, this message is for you. The third week of September 2025 is a focal point, but the changes it promises are about you choosing vigilance now and not later. This is about cultivating rhythms of responsibility that protect you forever. If you begin today, the urgent week becomes a signpost, not a catastrophe. If you do not begin, the urgent week becomes a doorway for loss. Choose the rhythms, daily checks, weekly files, a monthly call to confirm status. Make them rituals that do not allow erosion. God says, this message is for you. I see your good heart. I see how easily you forgive, how easily you trust. Those are virtues, not defects. But virtue needs armor. Trust must be accompanied by verification. Forgiveness does not require forfeiture. You can be generous and guarded at the same time. Love does not mean leaving your door unlocked to potential theft. Love can be wise. God says, this message is for you. Be ruthless with things that steal your attention and worthless with things that do not deserve your energy. When people ask for favors that compromise your stability, say no. When systems require you to be small, insist on your rightful space. If someone expects you to pay with your peace, refuse. This is not cruelty. This is stewardship. Protect what you have been given to steward. God says, if you are thinking, but what about mercy? Mercy is part of this message. Mercy is not the same as naivety. Mercy asks for proof. Mercy requires accountability. When someone asks forgiveness, ask for evidence that they have changed. When someone asks for help, ask for a plan. Mercy that is unbounded becomes a leash around your neck. This message is for you. Mercy and prudence can walk together. God says, this message is for you. Speak clearly about money. Money is not a sin to name. It is a practical necessity. If a bill can be listed, list it. If a debt is owed, write the name and the date. If you have been avoiding bank statements because you fear what you will find, open them. The truth will not destroy you, hiding will. Knowledge is not always comfortable, but it is liberating. God says, this message is for you. Do not delay confronting the person who has the papers you need. Delay breeds complications. If someone has proof of your ownership, ask for copies now. If they refuse, write the refusal down and date it. Date everything. Dates are anchors in storms. A dated refusal is a tool in a courtroom, and a dated acceptance is a shield. God says, this message is for you. If the threat feels spiritual as much as practical, if you wake in the night sensing that something is wrong in the bones of your life, do not dismiss that. There is wisdom in your discomfort. Use it to fuel action, not paralysis. Pray, yes, but also act. I exist in the intersections where prayer meets action. Neither one alone completes the work. God says, this message is for you. Remember the ordinary people who act like angels, the neighbor who watched your house while you were away, the friend who once lent you money, the clerk who always smiles and remembers your name. These ordinary saints often become extraordinary defenders if you ask. Tell one of them what you are doing. A human who knows your plan can be a human alarm system. Your allies are not always flashy, sometimes they are steady and small. God says, this message is for you. Protect your children and those who depend on you first. If you have minors or dependents, make a plan for them that cannot be easily disrupted. If someone comes with authority, make sure that authority cannot uproot those small lives without review. Keep emergency numbers by the phone. Keep a list of safe places. Keep copies of birth certificates and IDs in a place you can reach without being forced to beg for access. God says, this message is for you. If the kear being threatened is not a thing but a reputation, if it is the quiet, protective dignity you have cultivated, then guard that like you would guard your home. Reputation is fragile but serviceable. Document your interactions. Keep a record of who said what and when. If lies are told about you, let the facts speak louder. Truth, when documented, is a formidable defender. God says, this message is for you. Do not be ashamed to ask for help. Pride can be a thief as easily as any stranger at the door. Pride tells you, you can handle it alone, and that lie will cost you more than the humility of asking. Reach out to professionals, legal aid, social workers, trusted clergy if you have one, financial counselors. There are people whose work is to take chaos and translate it into paperwork and process. Use them. God says, this message is for you. Don't think this is random, don't think this is coincidence. I am not writing to everyone, I am writing to you. You asked for a sign, you asked for clarity, you cried silently when no one was watching and you whispered, God, if you're real, show me. I am showing you now. This is not a game, this is not a text for entertainment, this is the lifeline you prayed for. Don't skip, don't scroll away, don't dismiss. Your entire future hinges on your decision to act on this message. God says, they are planning, and their footsteps are closer than you imagine. In the third week of September 2025, they will come with the appearance of authority, with the illusion of legality, with the intent to take. But you still have time. If you begin to prepare, if you take the warning seriously, what they meant to steal will slip through their fingers. I am not warning you so you tremble, I am warning you so you move. The wise prepare when the foolish laugh. Don't be the one who laughs and loses. God says, I see your heart beating fast even now, I see you thinking, is this really for me? Yes, it is for you. I don't waste words. I don't throw warnings into the void. This message has your name carved into it like stone. The world may not call you chosen, but I call you chosen. And when I choose, I also equip. I am equipping you now with knowledge, with urgency, with the truth. What you do with this will decide whether you stand in September or fall. God says, if you ignore this, if you treat this like all the other messages you scrolled past, then it's over for you, not because I want to harm you, but because you closed your ears to the one rescue rope sent to you. Don't blame chance later when loss comes, because I am warning you now. I am begging you in love, act. This is not superstition. This is not a joke. This is the shield you asked for in your prayers. God says, I see the person who has been circling you, pretending to be on your side, while secretly waiting for the right time to strike. They have smiled in your face, but in their private words they plot against you. I have heard their conversations. I have watched their hands sign things that were never meant for your good. I am uncovering their intent before it reaches your door. But you must not sit in silence. You must not hide your head under the blanket of false hope. Prepare, child. Protect what is yours. God says, don't trust every knock at your door. Don't trust every phone call that sounds urgent. Verify. Test. Write down dates. Ask for identification. Ask for everything in writing. Don't be intimidated by uniforms, by titles, by threats. You belong to me, and no human authority is greater than the truth. Stand firm, but stand prepared. God says, this message is for you. In the 3rd week of September, the storm will test every wall you have built. If you strengthen them now, you will remain standing. If you do nothing, the storm will not pity you just because you cried. The wind does not respect tears, but it respects strong walls. Build those walls today, spiritually with prayer, practically with preparation. God says, don't tell everyone this warning. Don't share it with those who gossip. Don't make it public to those who would mock it. Keep it like a hidden letter inside your soul. Act quietly, move wisely, and when the week arrives you will see that the words were true. God says, remember, I do not waste words. If I spoke, it is because the matter is urgent. If I warned, it is because danger is real. And if I promised rescue, it is because you still have time. Don't waste this time. Don't try to argue with me in your head. Don't delay until tomorrow. Move now. This is your chance, God says. There are small, decisive acts that tilt the balance in your favor more reliably than dramatic speeches. Make a list now, not to frighten you, but to arm you. List your documents, titles, deeds, bills, insurance policies, identification, account numbers. Beside each, write where the original is, who has a copy, and one action that would make that document impossible to seize without notice. For each person who matters in your life, list one contact who can vouch for you and one concrete favor they can do on short notice. When the world rushes, your list will be the map you need. God says, if someone arrives with legal language you do not understand, do not be intimidated into signing. Say this, I will review this with counsel. Say it firmly. The world respects a person who refuses to be hurried into consent. If the other side refuses to wait, their urgency reveals their weakness. The truth is brittle and needs to be forced in a rush. Demand time. Use it. God says, I know you fear appearing paranoid. You worry others will laugh and say you saw shadows where there were none. That is a small price to pay compared to losing what anchors your life. Tell one trusted friend what you are doing. Say, if I go quiet, check this list. Make your small paranoia public in one protective circle, not to spread alarm, but to create guardians. Allies who know how to act are worth more than half the battle. God says, this message is for you. Protect the digital keys. Change the passwords that control money, email, and documents. Use phrases you can remember with a pattern only you understand. Do not store all passwords in a single place without encryption. If you have two-step verification, enable it. If you do not know how, ask someone you trust to help you set it up today. Security is a habit built in minutes but kept for years. God says, when you speak with officials or people who carry authority, speak calmly and record the conversation if it is lawful to do so where you live. If you cannot record, write the conversation immediately afterward with the time and the words you recall. Memory shifts like sand, a written note is a stone. These notes will matter later, they will be the texture of truth in dull rooms where decisions are made. God says, if documents exist that show your ownership, find them now. Originals are stronger than copies, but certified copies and witnesses are close behind. If something is only a verbal promise, ask for it in writing. If someone shrugs and says that cannot be done, note it. Do not be swayed by charm. Charm is often the veneer of a plan. God says, this message is for you. Consider who benefits from your silence. People do not typically conspire for no reason. If someone would profit by taking what you have, they will look for ways to take it without causing a scene. Name them in your private list. Not to fuel revenge, but to map risk. When you know where the threat can come from, you can place your defenses more cleverly. God says, there are legal aid societies and organizations that exist precisely for people who cannot afford lawyers yet need protection. Look them up today and save their contact info. If you live where such services are scarce, contact a nearby religious institution, a community group, or a civic organization that can direct you. Practical help often arrives through networks you already have, the people who notice when you miss church or stop showing up at the market. Use those networks. God says, this message is for you. Create backup copies of everything. Scan documents, photograph property, take videos that show condition and ownership. Email these to an address you control or to someone you trust who lives elsewhere. If you fear an immediate seizure, choose 3 things to secure first, the rest can follow. Prioritize with care. What would cripple your life most if taken? Protect those things first. God says, if the threaters try to manipulate your emotions, name the emotion and refuse to let it decide for you. Anger can make you reckless, shame can make you silent, guilt can make you apologize for the right to stand. Observe the feeling, thank it for its information, then put it aside to act with strategy. Emotions are messenger birds, not rulers. Let them inform but not command your moves. God says, this message is for you. Practice speaking a clear account of what you own and why it is yours. Spend 5 minutes each day saying it out loud. The habit will make you less likely to be flummoxed when pressed. When people try to blur facts with rhetoric, your clear account will cut through the noise like a lamp in fog. Simple sentences. Names. Dates. Proof. God says, if someone threatens you with social shame, gossip, reputational attacks, prepare a calm public statement that tells the truth simply and without malice. Reputation is often defended best by clarity rather than counterattacks. The world respects a steady voice. Keep your statement short, let others amplify it as needed. God says, this message is for you. Consider small physical changes that increase safety. Change locks if you suspect someone has unauthorized access. Put important papers in a sealed place. If you own a safe deposit box, check its status and who has access. If you do not, consider scanning and storing critical documents with a trusted off-site friend. Physical security is reinforcement for the rest of your plan. God says, when you talk to those who might betray you, measure your words. Do not volunteer information that opens more doors. Speak cautiously, and when you must say something important, do it in writing and retain a copy. Ink makes people accountable. Verbal softness keeps predators nimble. God says, this message is for you. Set one small ritual to maintain vigilance without becoming consumed, perhaps 10 minutes each evening to update your list, to check one folder, to move one document to safety. Ritual turns sporadic panic into steady competence. Over time, you will find the ritual brings a surprising calm. You are no longer waiting for disaster. You have made yourself a participant in your protection. God says, if the 3rd week of September arrives and they come anyway, you will not be unmoored if you have done these things. You may face trials. You may still lose something temporary. Loss can be refined into wisdom when it is met with evidence, witnesses, and a network that can act. But avoid the unnecessary pain by doing what you can now. God says, "This message is for you. Keep breathing." Do not let the future you fear erase the present you cherish. Eat. Rest. Call someone who makes you laugh. Life is not only about defense, it is also about the small joys that keep your heart steady enough to fight. Prepare and live. God says, "Continue to ask, and I will continue to answer through the work of your hands and the courage of your choices." This is not an end, it is a guidance. Make one move now. Then another. Then return to me and say what you did. I am listening.